Good day, class. Welcome to TLE 9 Accounting. I am your subject teacher, Ma'am Nika, and in this lesson, you will learn about posting using the general ledger with running balance. Posting means transferring the amounts from the journal to the appropriate amounts in the ledger. What is general ledger? A general ledger is the reference book of the accounting system, and it is used to classify and summarize transactions and to prepare data for basic financial statements. Remember, every account in the ledger maintains the basic format of the T account but offers more information. For example, the account number at the upper right corner and the journal reference column. Compared to a journal, a ledger organizes information by account. So let's start with the different steps on how to post using the general ledger with running balance. Given is the template that we are going to use to post the transaction of Penaco Web Page Express. So here is the transaction of Penaco Web Page Express. So all we need to do is to transfer the date of the transaction from the journal to the ledger. But before that, we need to organize the information by account. So it means that we are going to start with cash since the account number for cash is 11. So let's start to transfer all the amount of cash account title. But before that, we need to transfer first the first date for cash account title. And that is 2020 May 1. So we already have the date. So it's May 1, 2020. I also put already the titles for each column. So we have here date, items, post, debit, credit, and debit balance and credit balance. And also the account title that we are going to post. So that is cash. And the account number for cash is 11. And also the heading. For the items, we're just going to put first entry to highlight the first entry of cash. And for the post or post reference, we're just going to put the page number of our first entry. And that is 1. So we have here GJ1 for General Journal, page 1. Next, our first entry, May 1, is under debit side. So we have here debit 250,000 pesos. So again, all we need to do is to post all the transactions and amount from the journal to general ledger. So we have here May 5, General Journal, page 1, 178,000 pesos under credit. May 19, GJ1, 7,000 pesos under credit. May 20, 4,000 pesos under debit. And also another May 20, GJ1, under credit side, 20,000 pesos. And last, we have May 31, GJ1, under credit side, 15,000 pesos. Now, let's proceed to the balances, if it is debit or credit. We all know that cash is under asset. And the normal balance for asset is debit. So, the normal balance of cash is debit. So, we are going to put the first amount here in the debit side, that is 250,000 pesos. Since the next amount is under credit side, 178,000 pesos, so we need to deduct 178,000 pesos to 250,000 pesos. And that is 72,000 pesos. Another amount, we have 7,000 pesos under credit side. So we need to deduct 7,000 pesos to 72,000 pesos. So we have 65,000 pesos. Next amount is under debit side, 4,000 pesos. So we need to add 4,000 pesos to 65,000 pesos. And that is 86,000 pesos. Next amount is 20,000 pesos under credit side. So we need to deduct 20,000 pesos to 86,000 pesos. So we have 66,000 pesos. And for our last amount, we have 15,000 pesos under credit side. So we need to deduct 15,000 pesos to 66,000 pesos. And that is 51,000 pesos. Now we can proceed to our next account title. Going back to Penaco Webpage Express transaction, our next account title is accounts receivable because the account number of accounts receivable is 12. So let us post the amount for accounts receivable. Before we write the account title, accounts receivable, we need to leave a space, then write the account title and account number. So now we have accounts receivable, account number 12. Now put the title of each column. So we have date, items, post, debit, credit, and debit balance and credit balance. The first date for accounts receivable is May 17, 2020. So that is our first entry. Again, our post reference for our first entry is General Journal, page 1. Our first amount is under debit side, that is 25,000 pesos. And next we have May 20, General Journal, page 1, 21,000 pesos under credit side. Again, accounts receivable is under asset and the normal balance of asset is debit. So we are going to write our amount in debit side and that is 25,000 pesos. Our next amount is 21,000 pesos under credit side. So we need to deduct 21,000 pesos to 25,000 pesos. And that is 4,000. So that's it. We are going to continue posting the transaction up to the last account title. So that's all for today.